Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for September 21st. September 21st is the 264th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 265th in leap years, with 101 days remaining to the end of the year. September 21st is occasionally the day of the autumnal equinox in the northern hemisphere and the vernal equinox in the southern hemisphere, although this usually falls on September 22nd or 23rd, as it does this year, I believe, tomorrow. The equinox on the 22nd. We'll probably talk about that then. Today's word is chromium. Chromium is a chemical element. Its symbol is Cr, and its atomic number is 24. As a metal, it's desired for its ability to take a high polish and resist tarnishing. Chromium is also resistant to corrosion, and it's a hard metal, and as such, is an essential ingredient in the production of stainless steel. I had some stainless steel right here, but I took it back to the kitchen. As a trace mineral, chromium is considered an essential nutrient important to humans for insulin, sugar, and lipid metabolism. That said, certain forms of chromium are toxic and carcinogenic, to the point that abandoned chromium production sites require environmental cleanup. The name chromium comes from the Greek word chroma, which means color, because of the variety of colors that one could see when working with it. For example, the green coloration of emeralds is due to chromium. Alrighty, and with that, we're going to move on into the history for the day. This is the birthday of French-Canadian explorer Louis Jolliet, born September 21st, 1645. He did a good bit of exploration and discovery in North America. He, along with Catholic priest and missionary Father Jacques Marquette, were the first non-natives to explore and map the upper Mississippi River. The cities of Joliet, Illinois, Joliet, Montana, and Joliet, Quebec are named after him. He was 54 or 55 when he died in 1700. The American Revolutionary War broke out in April of 1775. New York City was already an important business center by then, and of course it hadn't grown to its current size, but at the time was contained on the southern part of Manhattan Island. Had a population of about 12,000. So the American Revolution had been going on by now for almost a year and a half, when on September 20th, 1776, a fire broke out in New York City. This fire got out of hand pretty quickly and burned through the night and into the morning of September 21st. Now, somewhere between 10 and 25% of the buildings were destroyed by fire, and the ones that hadn't burned were looted and plundered. Everyone, regardless of which side they were on, whether British or American Revolutionary, everyone felt strongly that the other side had started the fire deliberately. While it's certainly possible that someone from one side or the other started the Great Fire on purpose, it's just as likely, and perhaps more likely, that the genesis of this particular fire was an accident of some sort, and that wind and wooden roof shingles contributed to the rapid spread and devastation of the 1776 Great Fire of New York. On September 21st, 1780, Benedict Arnold, whose name has come to mean traitor, gave the British plans to West Point. He intended to surrender the fort to the British, but was found out before he completed that bit of treachery. As a side note, Benedict Arnold was kind of a whiny, pouty guy. He felt like he'd been bypassed for a promotion and that people had it in for him. Truth is, he'd been investigated for fraud, mishandling of money. Anyway, this thing comes up. He decides he's going to get even with George Washington and everyone else by handing West Point over to the British. Fortunately, this plan didn't work out for him. His accomplice was captured and executed. He struck a deal with the British to come over to their side for a sum of money and a promotion, and he moved to England, where, as it turns out, nobody over there liked him either. The Great Hurricane of 1938. Now, this was before they all got names. This one made landfall on Long Island in New York on September 21st, 1938, taking the lives of an estimated 500 to 700 people. The People's Republic of China was proclaimed on September 21st, 1949. Sandra Day O'Connor was unanimously approved by the United States Senate as the first female Supreme Court Justice on September 21st, 1981. And that's all I have for you today. Hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. How about that chromium? Also known as chrome. That beautiful, shiny, silvery metal chrome. As always, links to my sources are included in the show notes. Images will be from Bing Images, public domain or licensed free to share and use. Be on the lookout for the hashtag shorts from this episode. Our lovely outro music is Divine Life Society by Jesse Gallagher from the YouTube Music Library, and there's a link to his channel in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. All right. Okay, for crying out loud. Good grief. All right, let's see here. Okay, do that again. We'll do that in a minute. Thank you. That might not make it into the video. We'll see. Changing it up.